The Walking Dead Destinies is like a fan fiction your weird friend wrote after a pizza and zombie movie marathon. We get to change the course of the beloved TV show, mostly by making objectively terrible decisions that lead to characters getting chomped way earlier than they should. The game itself plays like a budget PS2 title that somehow stumbled into the present, with clunky combat and a story that's somehow both rushed and boring. This platinum is less a test of skill and more a testament to your ability to withstand boredom, earning most trophies by just playing through the game. There are a few specific tasks, like not getting detected in certain areas, or killing a certain number of walkers with specific weapons. Expect to spend around 6 to 10 hours wandering through clunky environments and fighting zombies that seem to have a personal vendetta against your stamina. Getting this platinum is like a survival story of its own. I survived playing this game. Act 1 begins with main character Rick Grimes waking up from a coma after being shot in the line of duty. Not knowing what is going on at the hospital, the place is an absolute mess, and there's no one to be seen anywhere. Struggling to walk, I make my way to the nurse's office to get some painkillers. Turns out the hospital is overrun with zombies, or as they are called in the Walking Dead universe, walkers. I must now make my way out of the hospital alive, sneaking past plenty of walkers.
I don't make any noise when I'm crouched.
Once I'm outside, I must make my way out of the car park without being detected for the first trophy, Invisible. Walking back to my hometown to hopefully find my family, the streets are deserted. And just as I'm about to get eaten by another walker, I get rescued by a man named Morgan. Morgan then gives me a quick rundown.
You even know what's going on? He'd have ripped into you. Tried to eat you.
Then I grab some police clothes that are conveniently resting on a nearby cop car. With Morgan now watching me from the safety of the rooftops, he teaches me how to stab zombies, unlocking the Kill the Brain trophy for stabbing my first walker.
Be careful, else you'll run out of stamina when you need it most.
Right through the skull.
And after stabbing another 10 walkers, I unlock the Right Between the Eyes trophy. After learning how to perform executions, I get the next trophy, Last Breath, for killing an enemy with depleted stamina.
Feel sorry for them. They're already dead.
Spotting another nearby police car surrounded by walkers, I get the next trophy for killing 7 walkers nearby before we get in.
You're a good man, Rick.
Morgan tells me of a refugee center in Atlanta, before wishing me well and sends me on my way to hopefully find my family. Arriving at Atlanta, we quickly learn that the place is overrun by walkers, and things are looking very grim. After fighting my way across the city, I get swarmed and unlock a trophy for dying for the first time. Trying to cross a dodgy bridge to safety, it collapses and I fall into a swarm of walkers. So rolling my way under a nearby tank, a guy named Glenn has overseen my predicament and offers to help.
Cozy in there?
So playing as Glenn now, I start making my way towards Rick, where I learn about skill points. Then as I bash my way through walkers, I unlock the Touche trophy for exploding 15 heads with the crowbar. I then set off a nearby fire truck to lure the walkers away from the tank, which allows Rick to escape. Controlling Rick again, I must make it to the rooftops to join up with Glenn and the rest of his group.
Follow the alley.
And on the way there, I find a grenade and blow up 5 walkers at once for the Fire in the Dead trophy. And straight after this, I grab the last of the skill points for this level and get the Well Prepared trophy. Joining up with Glenn's group on the roof, I'm greeted by an intense argument.
To a man with a gun, huh?
The argument then turns physical, and I now must make my first defining choice of the game. A defining choice is pretty much choosing who I want to die. Deciding to handcuff Merle because he seems a bit rogue. I get a trophy for making my choice. Rick then gives a powerful speech about a man trying to find his family.
Cop.
All I am anymore is a man looking for his wife and son. Anybody gets in the way of that is gonna lose.
And then we just leave him there to die.
Stab!
In the next mission, we now get to play as Shane, Rick's best friend and former police partner, who believes Rick to be dead, has been looking after Rick's wife Lori and son Carl since the outbreak. While out scavenging food for his group of survivors, we get introduced to screaming walkers, who, when alerted, start aggressively screaming. Continuing forward until I reach a campsite, I must stab 10 walkers without being detected for the Getting By Well trophy. After grabbing all the food for our camp, Shane heads back. While back at camp, the group that was in Atlanta arrives and Rick reunites with his family.
Carl, Lori.
And now Laurie is pissed off at Shane since he told her Rick was dead.
Limits to you.
In between missions now, we get to hang out at camp, where we must solve any conflicts between group members. Heading to the mission table where we can start the next mission, we also get the opportunity to send group members out on expeditions to earn some extra skill points. Starting the next mission, a few nights have passed, and Rick is out scouting, when he spots a herd of walkers heading towards camp.
Lori.
So hurrying back, I run into a few walkers who thankfully haven't noticed me yet. So lining up their heads, I get the 2-for-1 trophy for headshotting 2 walkers with 1 bullet. As I'm about to enter camp, I get an expedition update from Daryl, who needs my input about what he should do next. And after picking the correct option, I get the Good Call trophy. Entering camp, there are walkers everywhere. Needing to save Laurie and Carl by escorting them safely to the RV. Once everyone is safely inside the RV, the walkers aren't giving up and start smacking the crap out of it. I start blasting the walkers with my revolver to get the Sheriff trophy for getting 6 revolver kills in a row without reloading. Also, while defending the RV, if we can manage to keep its health above 30%, we unlock the Safety First trophy. Once the RV is safe, apparently there is no more room left for me, so I roll my way to a nearby car to escape camp, unlocking the Welcome to the Apocalypse trophy for completing Act 1. After escaping the Atlanta camp, we get stuck on a jam-packed highway. So, setting up camp for now, we aren't here for long, for another herd of walkers once again comes out of nowhere. Carol's daughter Sophia gets scared and stupidly runs off into the woods. So Rick quickly chases after her, and now I must find her before it's too late. During this level, I must chop off 10 heads with the fire axe for the Lumberjack trophy. Then, finding a shotgun laying around nearby, I earn the No Waste trophy for killing 4 enemies using the shotgun without reloading. Once all the walkers here are dead, I decided now would be a good time to start spending all my skill points. And once I unlock my 10th perk, I get the Learning the Ropes trophy.
This will come in handy.
Continuing forward, the expedition I sent Glenn on has failed, and I unlocked the Bad Call trophy. Not letting this deter me from finding Sophia, I eventually find her hiding in some bushes. I don't know how she even made it here alive, but there's too many walkers for her to return safely. So making her hide under a nearby tree, I go and clear a path. As soon as the coast is clear, I go back to retrieve Sophia. However, she has disappeared, nowhere to be found. Carl and Shane then catch up to me, and Rick and Shane start having an argument.
Apple don't fall far from the tree, I guess.
What's that supposed to mean?
Carl then starts checking out a random deer, before getting shot by seemingly no one.
Oh, no!
Rushing with Carl to a nearby farm, a man named Herschel and his 2 daughters offer their assistance. Herschel operates on Carl and has saved him for now, but he will die unless we can get more equipment.
What'll it take?
Apparently the nearby school has the supplies we need, so Shane offers to go and get it. And since Herschel's 2 daughters went to school there, I must pick one of them to come with me as a guide.
Give me a break.
Heading over to the school, it is definitely overrun. Deciding to split up, we take control of Maggie. Right at the start, I unlock the Shut Up trophy for headshotting a screaming walker while it is still screaming. Reaching the medical tent, I kill 3 crawling walkers in a row with the pistol for the No Mercy trophy.
Where's the respirator?
After grabbing all the supplies we can,
If I do, I'll take that. Thanks.
we switch over to Shane and head into the infirmary for the remaining supplies.
Got it.
I try to escape through the gym, but I get trapped.
Shit.
and must survive a wave of walkers. I explode 15 heads using sledgehammer heavy attacks for the blunt force trophy.
I'm cornered. Could use a little help here.
With Shane in trouble, we switch back to Maggie and go into the school to save him, grabbing a nearby sniper rifle to provide cover fire. And here, if we get 5 kills in a row while staying scoped in, we get the zoned in trophy. We also get another trophy for getting 15 kills with the sniper rifle during this level.
Lock it.
After saving Shane from the ambush, just when we think the coast is clear, this big fella comes out of nowhere. Making sure to take down the heavy walker with only melee attacks, I unlock the heavyweight trophy.
Get out of here.
With the heavy walker dead, we make a mad dash out of the school. However, on the way out, Maggie trips on a brick, dropping all the supplies. And I guess she must have broken her ankle or something, because apparently she can't get back up. So now I must make another defining choice. Either save Maggie, leaving the medical supplies which will kill Carl, or grab the supplies and save Carl, but Maggie will die. I decide to save Carl. And unfortunately, Maggie is left to die.
Be this way.
Back at the farm, we hold a funeral for Maggie. The next mission takes us back in time to when the outbreak first occurred, and Rick was still in his coma. Shane is at the hospital trying to rescue him, but the hospital is swarming with walkers, so saving Rick isn't going to be easy. Reaching Rick's room, it quickly becomes clear that there's no way Shane can get himself and Rick out alive. So saving himself, the hospital is now swarming with military who are here to kill anyone and anything. Blasting them with my shotgun, they can take some serious damage. Making it outside, fighting through more military and walkers. I whip out some nasty quickscopes and escape the hospital. Back to the present now, the search for Sophia is looking like a lost cause. Glenn then thinks now is a good time to reveal that Herschel is keeping a horde of walkers in his barn. Rick doesn't know what to think, but everyone else looks kind of angry. Shane loses the plot,
We either take care of this right now, or we just gotta go.
and a lot of interesting faces get thrown back and forth. Shane just wants to go in and kill them all. However, Rick doesn't want to do anything without Herschel's permission. Shane then starts questioning Rick's leadership and decides to take matters into his own hands. Going behind Rick's back, he busts open the barn to take out all the walkers.
Can't believe
And during this mission, we can unlock the next trophy for killing all walkers in the barn without taking any damage. So keeping my distance while using my shotgun to avoid getting hit, the rage trophy pops.
out of here.
Finishing off the remaining walkers,
Check the barn.
in a shocking twist, the missing Sophia comes out of the barn as a walker. Everyone is heartbroken, but Rick steps up to take care of business. Shane and Rick's fighting has now reached breaking point, so Shane leads Rick out into the woods with the plan to kill him, to have Laurie for himself, raise Carl as his own, and take back leadership of the group.
My children?
My children. Call you daddy?
Rick tries to reason with him, but Shane refuses to listen.
Bullshit. This only ends one way. Only one of us is going back to that farm.
The next defining choice has us choosing who we want to lead the group going forward. So obviously choosing Rick, the battle begins. And we must finish this fight in under 3 minutes to unlock the Cold Blood trophy. Grabbing my nearby revolver, I blast Shane in the head more than enough times to kill him, but he's pretty stubborn.
Can't let him hit me.
He eventually drops dead. Psych, turns out he's actually not dead and we have another round. This time without guns. Grabbing a nearby machete, walkers have now infiltrated the arena. So needing to fight off both,
So sorry, Shane.
I eventually take down Shane by stabbing him in the chest. Shane then immediately turns and comes to eat me, but Rick blasts him in the head. Returning to the farm, it's somehow on fire.
Shit.
So racing to save my family, I unlock the trophy for finishing Act 2. While trying to get everyone out safely, Dale gets eaten, and the farm completely burns down. The group then spends the winter searching for a new home, and Laurie is pregnant, so we need to find a safe place to bunker down. We then stumble upon a prison.
It's perfect.
Looking to make this prison our new home, Rick, Daryl and Carol break inside to clear out the walkers and make it safe,
Easy peasy.
splitting up to make it more efficient.
Here, heading north.
Once the prison is clear, we find a random prisoner who has just been hiding out in here the whole time.
Who the hell are you?
We then get the choice to either let him join the group or send him out to die. I decide to let him stay as he's done nothing wrong to us, so why not give him a chance? Carol isn't happy, but oh well.
Is on you.
We then send Herschel to try and find the armory that might have some gear we can use to stay alive. Which seems pretty risky as there's a lot of walkers down here to take on by himself. I find a whole heap of supplies locked away with 2 heavy walkers. So grabbing a nearby assault rifle,
Lock and load.
I open the security gates, which accidentally opens every gate within the prison, and a whole lot of walkers are now loose. Killing the 2 heavy walkers, I grab the supplies that are inside
I have to get out of here.
and gun my way through a whole lot of walkers, earning the Now We're Talking trophy for mowing down 5 enemies in 10 seconds using the assault rifle. Rick comes down to help carry the supplies, but as we are fleeing for our lives, Herschel gets bitten on the leg. So Rick, with some quick thinking, chops his leg off before the infection spreads and drags Herschel to safety. With Laurie ready to give birth any day now, Laurie and Carol search the pharmacy for any supplies that might help, but prisoner Andrew has other plans. Setting off the prison alarms to lure in a heap of walkers. Running to check on Laurie, Andrew has murdered Carol. But Laurie was hiding, so she's safe. Rick heads out hoping that shooting all the alarms will make them stop. But when that doesn't work, we just head back inside and turn them off by the switch.
Don't mind if I do. Damn it, this isn't working.
I spot Andrew as he tries to flee. Chasing after him, he leads us to the generator room, where he tries to kill me. Sneaking around, we must shut off a bunch of generators, while avoiding walkers and a bunch of spot fires. Once all the generators are off, we have a fight with Andrew to the death.
Give it up. Take this.
With Andrew dead, I return to the group where Laurie has given birth. With a brand new baby a part of the group, Daryl heads down to the local store to gather some baby supplies. But the store is swarming with people and they are not friendly. So using my machete to chop them up, since the crossbow is literally useless,
Need to reload.
I gather the supplies.
Don't mind if I do.
When I spot a mystery girl fighting for her life.
Over here.
Rushing down to give her some assistance,
You got it.
the plan backfires as Daryl gets captured. In control of Michonne now, I grab the baby supplies Daryl dropped and escape, earning the trophy for finishing Act 3. Bringing the supplies to the prison, Michonne gives Rick the rundown on what happened.
Taken. By the same son of a bitch who's after me.
So Rick lets her inside.
Woodbury.
Michonne tells us about a place called Woodbury, where Daryl must be held captive.
A whole town?
The next mission is a flashback of Michonne getting a tour of Woodbury with the governor and Merle, Daryl's brother who we left for dead at the start of the game.
How many you got here?
And while getting our tour, I make sure to grab all the skill points in the level
Great.
for the "you talk way too much" trophy.
Nice find.
Once the tour is over, Michonne is incredibly suspicious of this place and decides to get out of here. So once nightfall hits, we sneak out.
Now.
First, we must retrieve the katana the governor stole from us, so we must find a way to sneak inside his mansion. Relying completely on stealth, because if I get spotted at all, it's an instant fail.
You're not allowed here.
I sneak past the lookouts, grab some bolt cutters,
Mind if I do?
and bust my way through the back gate. Sneaking in through the back window, I find my katana. Scoping out the room, we see some weird stuff going on, and find that the governor's been keeping his Walker daughter chained up in a closet. The governor then bursts into the room and we have a decision to make. Deciding to kill his daughter, the governor snaps and tries to kill me. Fighting back, I stab him in the eye and flee. Escaping Woodbury, I evade plenty of security and walkers. After successfully escaping without taking too much damage, I unlock the Focus trophy. After hearing all this, Rick decides to take the fight to Woodbury and save Daryl.
Looks like we need more guns.
So Rick sends Laurie out to the gun store to bring back whatever she can grab. During this level, I must make sure to only kill enemies with firearms for the guns blazing trophy. Fighting them off and grabbing as many weapons as I can carry, I take the guns back to the prison. And now it's time to go and rescue Daryl.
Let's go teach those bastards a lesson.
Crossing over to Woodbury, the governor has Daryl fighting his brother in an arena full of walkers to test Merle's loyalty. I make light work of Merle, unlocking the not running from a fight trophy for winning the fight without dodging once.
It's about to get real.
However, that was only the first round. After beating Merle up the second time, the governor has had enough and tosses Merle a shotgun. However, that still isn't enough to stop me from dropping him again.
That's what I'm talking about.
After finally knocking Merle out for good, Rick's group has arrived and starts firing off bullets, taking down anyone who's in the way. Rick throws in a smoke grenade, allowing Daryl to escape. Now playing as Rick, we must destroy 7 military vehicles on the way out, while fighting off Woodbury residents at the same time. Proving to be one of the more difficult missions I've done, I unlock the anger management trophy for becoming wrathful and surviving.
I'm not done just yet.
The mission is eventually successful and I escape through the barricades, earning the Woodbury trophy for finishing Act 4. The governor watches on as Woodbury burns, and his people flee, with many of them joining Rick's group at the prison. A bit of time passes between Act 4 and Act 5, and life at the prison is relatively peaceful. Playing as Daryl, we are doing our daily slaughtering of all the walkers along the fence. Piling them all up into one area, we get the efficient trophy for killing 10 walkers along the fence within 60 seconds. A virus has spread throughout the prison, making a lot of people very sick, and a few members have turned into walkers, catching everyone off guard. Heading inside the prison to take out all the infected walkers and escort the remaining survivors to safety.
Kill 'em all.
Once everyone is safe, I clear out the remaining walkers. Unfortunately, a whole bunch of the residents have got this mysterious flu, and without antibiotics, they'll probably die.
It's spreading. Daryl's got it.
So Rick sends Beth off to grab some meds while he goes and searches for more guns.
You go check the nearby pharmacy for antibiotics. I'll go find us some weapons.
Rick heads back to his hometown, where we first started, and to our surprise, Morgan is still here, hanging out on the roof with his sniper. But he is now very hostile and is trying to kill me. So for our next trophy, we must reach Morgan without getting shot by him once. Timing our run in between gunshots,
Better take care of these walkers.
it's made a lot harder by the swarms of walkers I must fend off at the same time. But once I get the timing right, I reach Morgan and unlock the Shadow trophy. Morgan doesn't recognize me at first,
Morgan, it's me. It's Rick Grimes.
but he eventually comes around.
I know who you are.
Rick then convinces Morgan to give him all of his guns.
Just meet me around back of the building and you can take the guns.
With the guns secured, the next step is to go and get the medicine. Playing as Glenn, we head to a nearby pharmacy. The place has been ransacked and it's full of walkers. During this mission, we can unlock the Thick Skin trophy, which requires us to get a kill with every different method in the game. Finding the supplies, Glenn immediately gets captured.
Hey, we got an intruder!
We switch over to Michonne, who must have been here as well, and after getting a kill with the final method, the Thick Skin trophy pops. While slaying walkers and trying to find Glenn, I unlock the Headhunter trophy for chopping off 10 heads with katana heavy attacks. And straight after that, I get the Executioner trophy for performing an execution with every single melee weapon. Michonne finds the medicine, but Glenn is nowhere to be seen. Switching over to Beth now, we are trying to find Michonne. However, after searching the pharmacy, we find the medicine, but no sign of either of them.
Come in.
Reporting back to base, Rick tells us to get back with the medicine before anyone else dies.
We'll get them both back. I swear it.
Back at the prison, the squad is looking tough. The governor has arrived at the gates, and he has Glenn and Michonne hostage. The governor wants the prison for himself, but Rick believes we can share. The governor has had enough, and we get to our final defining choice. We have to pick either Michonne or Glenn to try and reason with the governor. I picked Glenn thinking that it would keep him alive. However, I was sadly mistaken. The governor has heard enough and chops his head off. And an all-out war begins. We are severely outgunned since they have a tank. So destroying the tank is our first priority. Playing as Laurie, I try to charge the tank, but that doesn't work and I get killed. And when I respawn, I'm now playing as Carol, who died a long time ago. But apparently she's back from the dead to help take down the governor. After damaging the tank enough, we switch over to Daryl to finish the job, where I get the mindfulness trophy for becoming panicked and surviving. After taking out all nearby enemies, Daryl tosses a grenade into the tank. The governor evacuates and comes face to face with Rick.
Just you and me now.
Surrounded by a ring of fire and using melee weapons only,
You're weak.
the governor has immense strength as he repeatedly lifts me up with his sledgehammer and launches me into the fire. But that doesn't stop me, and I take down the governor and chop off his head. With the governor dead, the prison is a lost cause and it's time for everyone else to flee. However, the walkers are overrunning the place, so playing as Michonne, I climb up one of the watchtowers and provide sniper support.
No.
Once the others are safe, it's now time to escape the prison. Unlocking the trophy for finishing Act 5. Everyone escapes however they can, and the main story is now complete. And now I only have 3 more trophies to clean up before the platinum. Restarting the game, as soon as I get access to a machete, I must chop off 10 heads with light combos for the machete kills trophy. Then the final 2 trophies are tied to expeditions. We need a total of 5 successful expeditions for the plan ahead trophy, and 5 failed expeditions for the bad planner trophy. And with that, the platinum pops and I never have to touch this game ever again. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and let me know down in the comments which games you'd like to see me platinum next.